found some bones. Gareth's remains? These then. Wonder why the armor came apart. Magic? Or he just fall from a height?
So? You met the witch. You must have. What did you learn?
That witch? She's not near as bad as folks say. Made me bow and scrape, sure. But I know some sorceresses witchier than her.
Joyous bleeding news, but what about Daphne?
I can lift the curse, free her, by performing a ritual, making a sacrifice of her kerchief and Gareth's remains. But we gotta start at the right time. When the hour comes, I'll light 4 fires for the 4 winds, then begin the ritual.
Fires? Then I shall be of use to you after all. Seems you need wood. Much of it.
Chop as much as you can. I'll see to the rest.
I've chopped and stacked the wood. What now?
My turn. Gotta light fires and talk to the woman enchanted in the tree. No idea how this'll turn out, so just in case, stand at a distance. And if you see me draw my sword, run. Look your last to the world's 4 winds. From the south, not a word. From the east, no cry is heard. From the north, silence sighs. From the west, peer hollow eyes. Cease your vigil, dead he lies. Hear me, you who hide beneath this bark. Recall today who you really are. Behold a kerchief, proof of your love for another. Behold, a bone of he to whom you offered your love.
Gareth, my Gareth, he shall never return.
No, he won't.
Is his love for me gone? Did he stay true?
Gareth broke his vow, failed to stay faithful.
Man is built of mud and filth, milady, and is like to blunder, we all are.
How cruel is the world to render conferring one's love so hard?
But what would the world be without love?
The time comes that I depart. I've waited too long. I've suffered too much. And now I wish to go.
Farewell, milady.
I thank you, stranger. And you, my knight. I thank you for speaking to me. For standing vigil at my feet.
I did not think it would end this way. I hoped we could revive her. But I guess it was not to be.
We did all we could.
You did well. Here, your pay. And the book is yours as well.
Thanks. Take care of yourself.
So long, Witcher. I must think. Put this straight in my head.
Work's hard on the nerves, eh? That's why you're so great.
Damned bedbugs.
The want is not enough.
Greetings. I hope your search goes well.
Would you craft something from...
Of course.
Farewell.
Good luck on the path.
Just a few more ledges, and I shall get drunk as a skunk.
The best steel in all of Tucson. Take a gander.
Show me what you have. Farewell.
No, see you later.
The guard brings peace to our domains. Flout its writ and rot in chain.
lots to do before it gets dark.
I do not know how I will ever repay you, Witcher.
Don't expect to be paid. Hope you're feeling better, that's all.
Oh, yes, I feel my strength returning thanks chiefly to Barnabas Basil's care.
Horrible ordeal you endured. Glad I cut it short.
Yes, years of suffering. Do you know what was worse than the hunger? Watching my loved ones, my children grow old and die. All my family's long gone now. The last of my kin perished decades past. I fear I've nowhere to go.
This is a big house, big estate. You can stay here.
Truly? I could never infringe so on your hospitality. Yet,
Yeah?
after all I've suffered, the years of starvation, I've but one dream. At last to prepare food that fortifies, nourishes, to delight in the tastes and smells of spices, to sit at one table with others and eat.
Don't see a problem if that's your dream. You could help Barnabas Basil in the kitchen. Eating his meals. You know he's not a culinary virtuoso.
Nothing could make me happier. Thank you.
No, thank you. House could use a woman's touch.
I've one other thing I'd like to tell you. Many years ago, my father assembled valuables for my dowry. I never wed, so they remained unclaimed. These baubles are no use to me now, but to you, well, perhaps let them be a token of my gratitude. If you wish to find them, you must go to my old home, to Trastamara. The dowry lies hidden in a barrel in the cellar. There are several barrels. You must give each a knock until you find the right one.
Do just that. Thanks. I'd never expect someone with your past to feel drawn to the kitchen.
Do you fear I will cook in your home as I brewed as a white?
Counting on you having slightly better taste as a human.
Of that, you can be sure. I loved cooking, even as a child. My gran was a true master in the kitchen. Her spit-roasted oaks was famed throughout the land.
Thought you were a lady, owned an estate.
Do you mean to say a woman of my rank should have had a cook? You're right, of course. And I had the best of cooks. But I devised the dishes myself. They only prepared them.
You sure you don't feel lonely out here?
I cannot say yet. Too little time has passed since you freed me of my thrall, but somehow, for now at least, I do not feel drawn to the city, to others.
Visited others' homes as a white.
Yes, but ever at night, when all were asleep, I went in search of spoons.
Remember, you can always change your mind. Decide you've lived here long enough, just say the word.
I'd never wish to seem ungrateful.
And I'd never want you to stay against your will. See you later.
Take care, Witcher. And remember, you always have warm food awaiting your return.
is hard and girthy, no one can grip the...
Begone from my sight!
Witcher, a word. We've got something for you. It...
Oh, Witcher, greetings. Kind of you to come. Matilda and I, we've a surprise for you.
You two seem to be getting along.
We are. There came a point we realized we had no grounds to quarrel. Things became altogether pleasant.
And a bit spicy.
Romantic. Quite.
Got it. Needn't say more. Glad things are going well for you. What's the surprise? Some new monster I need to kill?
No, something far more pleasant.
We've produced a wine. According to the best sommeliers, it might just dethrone Est.
We owe this success to you. So, if you'd agree...
We'd like to name it after you.
What shall we call it?
Why not White Wolf?
Wild, with character. It fits perfectly.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like to send a few bottles to your home every so often.
I'd be honored. Thanks.
No, we thank you. Take care, Witcher.
A Witcher? We could use one around here full time.
To reconcile, that's one thing, but to start making wine together. The guard brings peace to our domains. Flout its writ and rot in chains.
Think your friend's hand will make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from the hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. Raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Pretty helpful creatures. Call on them often?
I try not to overdo it, but they can be so useful, as they were now, when I merely needed to be sure I could arrive in time should things go sour.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned a last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but alas, none such exists.
Not sure I understand what the problem is. Can't we just draw some of your blood?
The blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's chemical composition. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. And that stands to be very, very dangerous.
Dangerous? Why? I mean, you'll still be you, right?
True. But I should be highly agitated, in a state of fury. You know better than I that fury cannot be controlled. If you've ever seen an enraged vampire, you know very well that all who find themselves nearby will be in grave danger.
How will we handle that? I'd rather not have you lunge at me, claws extended.
That makes two of us. But worry not. I've thought it through very thoroughly. Details to follow soon.
All right, so what do you want to do?
We shall visit Tesha Mudna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse. Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
Tesha Mudna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human blood that in one night he could imbibe an entire village. This brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons of Tesha Mudna. Inside it, a cage made entirely of a special alloy of silver, dalvinite, and meteorite steel. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage. Sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape. Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
See no reason to dawdle. Tesha Mudna. Take me there.
In a moment. Just one last thing.
What was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some Sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. One drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt, but you must remain calm. I have no choice. As things stand, the die is cast. High time we set off for Tesha Mudna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
Sure you know what you're doing?
I can only hope I do. Please, let's go. The longer we delay, the less control I shall have of my faculties. I'd really prefer not to hurt you.
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger. Beyond this wall lies
an ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire's blood.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once, Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from our world into this one opened upon this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
Victim's been disemboweled, intestines ripped clear out. Scurvers have gnawed on this corpse, repeatedly. Human husbandry and care? This for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent reading them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
This place. There's evil here. Death hangs in the air.
Yes. Great many beings have breathed their last here.
Glyphs are carved into the rock. Coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
They're emblems, symbols of, well, what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction. My ancestors placed them here to remind us all where we came from.
Seems your kind assembled a peculiar little library.
Indeed, though I personally did not lay a hand to it.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tedet, those who went east beyond the Blue Mountains.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlove's. We both remained in this part of the world.
Cells? Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page from our history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
Whose is this glyph?
Amaran. They ventured beyond the sea.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tedet. Those who went east, beyond the Blue Mountains.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlouse. We both remained in this part of the world.
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock. Live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time. Deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine. I prepared the bait. Please be so kind and place it. Ideally at the tunnel entrances. The scent will spread most effectively then. Place the bait at the tunnel entrances. Monsters will catch its scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, sends shivers.
It was the natural order of things. The place reeked of death and it attracted necrophages.
Three done. One left. Think this'll work?
I certainly hope so. The meat stench is so thick, I wager it carries clear to Novigrad.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain. I cannot know what I will do. We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent, and also my head started spinning.
That the blood?
Someone who's never experienced a vampire's bloodlust does not know the true meaning of thirst.
Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it.
And what would you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Calm me down. Somehow.
We must forge through this, that is all.
Bait set. What now? Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what would you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Down. Somehow.
Please, go. You won't be able to.
I just smelled the blood.
I shall overcome.
Good, because I can hear more coming. It's set. What now? Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what would you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Calm me down. Somehow.
Please, no. You won't be able to. We must forge through this.
We just smelled the blood.
I shall overcome.
Good. 'Cause I can hear more coming. Hold on, I'll let you out. Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother me anymore. Get you out of here.
The concoction.
You can't finish it in this state. Tell me how. I'll help you. Any better?
Far from ideal. And some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Never expected it to be like that. You didn't tell me.
We need not discuss it.
But we do. Because if I'd known you were going to subject yourself to torture...
What would you have done?
Found Dettlaff some other way.
I did not wish you to use any other way. Did that occur to you?
No, because I thought no being would ever willingly subject itself to that kind of pain. You vampires aren't any different from us in that regard.
I told you. The pain is my way of paying my debt. The enormous debt I owe Dettlaff. If I had to do it again, I would in a heartbeat.